Hello and welcome to Geometry Unit 2 on Tools of Geometry. So today we are starting off with day 1, which is on points, lines, and planes. So first, a point is something that looks kind of like this, where you have a single dot and then a capital letter next to it. And that'll be either a point on a grid or a point just in space, but it's a single point. A line consists of 2 points, right here and here, and it is the line going between them. Now, a line also has arrows going off in the end because it's implied that it goes on infinitely. And then we also have a plane. So a plane is a flat surface. This could be like a desk surface or a table surface, or even a piece of paper is like a plane, and it has multiple points on it. So we're going to go over notation first. So first is a point. The correct notation of a point would be point capital G. So we just write out point and put capital G. So we don't put point G, we don't put G with a point at the top, like it's just point G, capital. Next is a line. So a line we name using 2 or more letters, and I'm going to change this letter really quick to a Y. So this line in particular, you could call XZ. Those are 2 letters on it, and we put a line over the top with arrows pointing in either direction. You could also call it XY, because I made that one Y, so with, again, lines going either direction. Or you could call it line M, because if you see there's this little M here, that's just the name of the line. Common mistakes, you don't want to call it XZY with it. Yeah, that's not good. We use 2 letters only with lines. And you don't want to call it like Z line, like that kind of thing. No, not good. For a plane, again, a surface, we name it using 3 points. So this plane has points A, B, and C. So the correct notation for that would be A, B, and C. And in the front of it, we put this kind of plane looking thing. It's kind of like a little parallelogram, quadrilateral thing at the front. And that would imply plane ABC. So you don't want to do A, B, C with the plane at the top. Like, that's no good. So just with it next to it. With a plane for 4 points, kind of like this one where there's 4 points at each corner. Again, we only name planes using 3 points. So this plane could have many names, but it could be plane RSU. It could be plane TSU. It could be any of those 3 points, but it can't be plane RSTU. Like, we only name planes using 3 letters. So collinear points are points that kind of look like this, where they're all on the same line. Collinear. So they're all on the same line. So collinear points all on same line. In the same breath, coplanar points are points all on the same plane. So here we have coplanar points. These points are all on this plane, M and P. They're all in that same space. So those would be coplanar. They're all on the same plane. Non-collinear points would be points that aren't collinear, if that makes sense. So here we have 3 points that are collinear. A, B, and C are collinear. They're all on this same line. Here we have X. X would be non-collinear. It's not on that line with A, B, and C, so it's non-collinear. Non-coplanar would be points that are non-coplanar. So here we have M and P all on the plane. Point Q is not on the plane, so that would be a non-coplanar point. Great. Use the diagram to the right to make sure you use the proper notation. You're going to write 3 other ways to name the line BD. So the line BD is right here. I'm going to use this highlighter. You can see point B is here, point D is here. So we're talking about that line. Another way to name it, we see another point here is point E. So we could name it DB. That's another way for a line. Or even BE. So DB is just BD backwards, and that's the same thing. BE is just using that other point on the line, and then we can also do DE, which is from D all the way to E, and that's still on the line, naming with collinear points. Give two other names for plane N. So plane N is the plane that all of these points are on, this plane right here. So we're going to name two other names for that. So first, I'm going to draw my little parallelogram, and then I'm going to pick 3 points that are on the plane. So on that plane, I see point C, so I could have point C, and then I have point D, so D, and then I also have point A, and those are all on the plane. So that's a name for plane N. Here's another one. We need to do another way. I could use point E, because that's on the plane. I could use point B, because that's on the plane. And let's just use point C again. So EBC. That's another name for plane N. Okay. Explain why line ABC is not a proper way to name plane N. Because planes don't have a line above their name. Okay, if we look here, ABC, that has a line above it right here. That's not supposed to be there if we're talking about a plane. If you're talking about a plane, it needs to have this quadrilateral shape in front of it. That's how we name planes. Okay. For the following, determine whether the sets are collinear and explain why or why not. And I believe we're using the same picture from above, so we'll go with that. Okay, so for first, B and F. B is here, F is here. So we're trying to determine if the sets are collinear, so if they're on the same line. In this case, B and F are collinear, yes. They are on this line right here. They're both on that line. So they're collinear. Next, we want to know if BD and E are collinear. So BD is this line right here, and we want to know if E is on that same line. Well, yes, E is it. It is on that line, so it's going to be yes, it is collinear. Okay. For this next one, we have EB. EB's here, so we're talking about this line with EB. And A. Those would not be collinear. Not collinear. Because A's not on that same line. A is all the way over here. Like, it's not on the line, on the green line. So, not collinear. And last one, plane N, which is this plane, and point F. Point F is up here. Are those collinear? No. Are they coplanar? No. They're neither. They're not anything. No. Point F is like floating above the plane. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but it's floating above the plane. So it's not on the plane, it's not on the line, it's not anything. So nope, no relationship. Okay, for the following examples, we're going to use this diagram to answer them. First, we want to know how many planes are in the figure. So remember, planes are surfaces. So I'm going to count how many surfaces there are. So there's one surface here in the front, and there's a matching surface in the back. So that's 2 so far. Then we have this other surface right here to the side. That's 1. We have this one that's at the bottom here. And then I know it's kind of hard to see, but there is one at the back as well. There. So that would be 5 surfaces. Front, back, side, side, side. So 5 planes. Okay. Next, we need to name 3 of those planes. So remember, planes get named using 3 points. So first plane, I'm going to name this one. That's going to be plane A, C, E. And again, that order doesn't matter as long as you have those 3 letters. Then we have another plane. Let's name the back one. That we can name using B, D, and F. You could also do BDL or LDB or FDL or however. And then last we have this plane. I'm just picking at random which planes we're naming. If you wanted to name different ones, that's totally fine. Then we have A, B, and E. So A, B, and E. Those are all on that plane. So that's how I named it. Okay, next, we're going to name 3 points that are collinear. So let's look for lines. I've got a line here, a line here, a line here, and a couple of those lines have more than 3 points. So I'm going to choose this top one, this one, and those 3 points would be A, H, and B. Those are all collinear. They're all on the same line. Are the points A, H, L, and D coplanar? Well, A is here, H is here, L is here, and D is here. So A, H, and L are coplanar. However, D is not. D is not on the same plane. If you look, A, H, and L are all on this surface here. They all are following that plane if I were to trace it. While point D is not. It's on a different plane. So no, point D is not coplanar. Okay. Okay. And next one, are the points B, D, F coplanar? So B is here, D is here, F is here. Those would be coplanar. They're all on the same surface triangle. So yes, they are all on the same plane. Great. Okay, next we're going to draw and label a figure for each relationship. We have line AB that is on plane Q. So here we go. Here's my plane. Plane is just like a piece of paper on its side. We'll call this plane Q. And on that plane, we have line, and it'll go on forever, AB. Okay, next we have line ST intersects AB at point P. So we have a line, and this is ST, that crosses with line AB, and they intersect at point P. Next, point X is collinear with points A and P. So point X is collinear with points A and P. That means they're all on the same line. So here's my line. We'll have 3 points since they are collinear. They're all on the same line. And we have A, X, and P. And you could put those in a different order if you like, as long as they're all on the same line because they are collinear. And number 9, point Y is not collinear with points TP. So we have a line here, and we have points TP on the line. And then somewhere else not on the line, we have point Y that's not on the line. And line L contains points X and Y. So here we have a line. We'll call it line L, kind of like that. That's how you name line L. And on that line, we have points X and Y. Okay, last problem. Nathan's mother wants him to go to the post office and the supermarket. She tells him that the post office, the supermarket, and their home are collinear. If the post office is in between the supermarket and their home, make a map showing the 3 locations based on this information. So we've got their home here. I'll draw a little door, maybe put some little bushes. That's their home. So they're going to start there. From there, they need to go to the post office and the supermarket, and they are all on the same path. So they're all on the same line. It's a straight line. We know that the post office is in between the supermarket and their home. So the post office is somewhere here, and the supermarket's somewhere here. So here we've got the post office, and here we've got the supermarket, the shopping cart. And yeah, that's our map. So home, post office, supermarket, and they're collinear. They're all on the same line. Okay, that's it for day 1 notes. So we'll see you again for day 2. Thank you. Bye.